Are you struggling to make solid contact at the plate? Are you tired of swinging and missing and hitting weak ground balls all the time? If you're new to baseball or you're just trying to fix your mechanics, then this is the only guide you need. In this video, I'm gonna break down the full mechanics to have a powerful and consistent swing step by step. By the end of this video, you'll have the foundation to hit the ball harder, further, and more consistent than ever. Let's get into it. So there's three parts to the swing. There's the load, there's the stride, and then there's the actual swing. So let's start with the load. When it comes to batting stance, it's whatever's comfortable for you, but for our players, we like to get them to start a little bit wider than shoulder width apart, toes facing forward, knees bent, hip pushed slightly back, hands up at shoulder height with their elbow up and the knob of the bat facing the catcher. That's where we like to get everybody to start, but again, whatever's comfortable for you as long as you get to the correct launch position, which we'll get to in a second. Now, when we talk about the load is gonna help with timing. It's also gonna help with generating more power. Now, when we're younger, all we really wanna do is transfer our weight back and then forward. As you get a little bit older, you wanna learn that the load is a little bit more of a coil, meaning that as we load, we're gonna turn our hip, hold the coil, and then release the coil when we stride. But for the younger players, all we're gonna do is go back and then forward. So we're gonna load, stride. Once that foot hits the ground, that's what we call launch position. Nothing in our swing starts until that front foot hits the ground. Now, in terms of our stride should be about the size of our inseam or the size of our bat. That's just a general rule of thumb. Basically, we want to avoid getting way out here, and we also want to avoid getting right here. So the size of your bat is a good general rule of thumb. Now, when that front foot hits the ground, we're in launch position. Now, a couple things that we look for. Like I said, our stride is about the size of our bat. Our front foot is slightly open. Our knees are bent, our hips slightly back. Our hands are up at shoulder height. Our hands, our elbow, and our shoulder are all at shoulder height, level with the ground, with the knob of the bat facing the catcher. This front elbow is about in line with this back hip. This is launch position. And like I said, nothing in our swing starts until that foot hits the ground. You'll see with a lot of kids, as they're loading, once they start going forward, they start their swing. So when they get to launch position, they're already down here. But we want to be up here still. If you pause any professional baseball player or softball player, they're all in that position. Now, it might be a little bit off, but for the most part, they're up here. When that heel hits the ground, you'll never see anybody down here yet. Okay, so now we're in launch position. Now we can start our swing. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn this back hip and drive this back knee down towards our front foot. Start to rotate our hips. In terms of our hands, we're basically drawing a line from the knob of the bat facing the catcher. We're just gonna turn that towards the ball. Our backside works together. We don't wanna go forward and then the hips. It's hips, hands. As we go through the turn, that front knee's driving towards that front foot. Our hips are turning. Our elbow stays nice and tight and connected to our body. Our barrel stays nice and tight and connected to our shoulder. This front arm is gonna work up as we go through our turn. As we're going through our turn, we're pushing off this front side, starting to transfer energy from the ground up our body into the bat, into the ball. Okay, so we're coming through, we're turning. We're gonna get on plane early, get in the zone early to contact. Now there's four things that we look for at contact. Okay, number one, we wanna make sure that our hips and our shoelaces are facing the pitcher. Wanna make sure that our front leg is straight. Wanna make sure that our head is above our back knee and our head is down. You'll see with a lot of kids, either their foot is facing this way, they're lunging forward, their head is above their front knee, their head is up like this when the ball's down here. So we're here at contact, palm up, palm down. Now from here, we're gonna extend out towards the pitcher, out towards the field, and then we're gonna finish like that. Now I'm gonna give you my three favorite drills for the beginner. Now the first drill is a staple drill that we use for all of our new guys and girls. So basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna get them to grab their bat, or you can use a PVC pipe, and you're gonna put it over your shoulders like this. Now what they're gonna do is they're gonna load, and they're gonna stride, and they're gonna pause. You're gonna find that a lot of kids are gonna get to here, and they're gonna be turning already when they get to launch position. So we're gonna get them to load, stride, and pause. Make sure they're in the correct launch position. Reset, load, stride, pause, and do that for like 10 reps. After that, we're gonna get them to start their swing. So again, they're gonna load, stride, and pause. Then you're gonna get them to slowly start their swing in slow motion. Once they get to finish, we're gonna look for those four things. Head above the back knee, shoelaces and hips facing the pitcher, front leg is straight, and our head is down, not like this. Now, if they're in the incorrect position here, all you're gonna get them to do is to correct it in that moment. So all they're gonna do is Push that leg, make sure their hips are turned, make sure their head is above their back knee, and their head is down. After that, we're gonna get them to grab their bat and they're gonna load the launch position. Meaning they're gonna get in their batting stance and they're gonna load and then pause at launch position. Again, making sure they're in the correct launch position. You're gonna find with a lot of kids, they're gonna load. When they get to launch position, they're already gonna be down here. So again, in that moment, if you see them like this, just correct them and then reset. Do about 10 to 15 reps of that, and then you're gonna get them to load, pause at launch position, and then swing. So you're gonna get them to load, stride, pause at launch position, make sure they're in the correct launch position, and then they can swing off the tee. Always get them to hold their finish. If they finish like this or they're off balance, we wanna make sure that they stay balanced and finish in that position. Again, looking for those 4 things: head above the back knee, shoelaces, hips facing the pitcher, front leg straight, and I want their head to still be down. And then the next phase of the drill, just get them to do full swings off the tee, getting them to hold their finish. I hope this video helped, and if it did, give it a thumbs up and make sure to subscribe for new videos every week.